So this clip right here pretty much sums up Marcus Smart. He plays the strong defense on Darren Collison. He steals the rebound from Amir Johnson, which is cool because Amir Johnson doesn't grab rebounds anyway. And then he hoists up a three-pointer that is just not very smart, given that he has been one of the worst shooters in the NBA for the past 3 seasons. And that smart pun that I made like 5 seconds ago wasn't intentional. Marcus, he's an interesting player, and I think he has potential to grow into something better than what he is, but the fact that he just can't really score from anywhere on the floor consistently is a problem. He does do some things well, though. He's a very good defensive player. And that was his calling card right when he entered the NBA. Can defend point guards, but he can also have the smartness to move around the floor and provide help, even if he's fouling and getting physical with guys sometimes. Like I said, defends points, can defend shooting guards, some small forwards just because of how strong he is. And Smart, he's also a gamer. You know, he more than once will have big plays down the stretch of a game, whether it be diving for a loose ball or grabbing an offensive rebound or having a big defensive moment. And he has made some improvements offensively this season, specifically with his playmaking. He's over 4 assists a game, and a decent amount of it is in the pick and roll. And Marcus, his patience as well as his vision and execution of passes has all improved this season for the Celtics, as they've given him a larger role as the ball handler off the bench, sometimes as the starter as well. And he's been pretty impressive. He's able to find guys cutting to the rim and guys rolling to the rim, and he just can spot the open guy. And for that reason, I think he can be a pretty valuable player in the NBA, and as we're going to talk about a little bit more when it comes to his scoring, if he can at least get a tad more efficient, specifically from one area of the floor, then I do think that playmaking can become even more valuable. Now here's the thing, I think he should just drop the three-pointers, honestly. Stop shooting them. Come back to them in a year or two, or maybe never, honestly. Work on the post game. I mean, Marcus is a big dude. He's like 220 pounds. He can overpower a lot of point guards. I would like to see him just getting in the post more often, backing those guys down, and being successful in that area. But also, I think you should just embrace trying to score inside. I mean, use that big body to draw contact, and I think that's the area he should really focus on improving in, is like finishing around the paint, finishing at the basket, and getting to the free throw line, because he actually shoots well over 70% from the line this season. I think drop the three-pointers, embrace your physicality, attack the basket, post up, and keep on doing what you're doing as a playmaker. And now we got to talk about Willie Cauley-Stein. He's gotten more of an opportunity since DeMarcus Cousins was traded away to the Pelicans. He's averaging 12 points and 8 rebounds in March, which those numbers don't pop out at you, but I do think it is a step in the right direction for him. And when we look at his potential, the first thing you notice is the athleticism. This guy can get up and down the floor like a perimeter player. He can go up top to finish alley-oops, and he can just pull off athletic plays that the average dude can't make. And I mean, he's kind of the ideal center for today's NBA, the DeAndre Jordan, Hassan Whiteside, Nerlens Noel, Rudy Gobert type of player. I'm not saying he's as good as those guys, but he is the same template of the athlete who, at least in college, was a very good defensive player, and I think he's beginning to show signs of what he can do defensively in the NBA. That athleticism should make it to where he can just move along the floor very well and move side to side, defend the low post, even if defending in the low post is not as valuable today as it was maybe 10 years ago or so. But with how often guys run pick and rolls in the NBA today, I think Stein could be perfect as a defensive player. But there are some things he's going to have to work on. He's going to have to get smarter on that side of the floor, which is a given it's only his, second season in the NBA? But still, the guy was a defensive whiz in college, so you assume that potential is still there for him, and he has the physical nature to get to that point. But what's a good sign is he's also shooting like 70% at the basket, which could be a testament to his ability to just jump really frickin' high and also maybe get like just a step ahead of other big guys, which can be all the difference when it comes to finishing down there. His skill set is beginning to show, and that's the part that's really exciting for me. Also the passing, like he's averaging 2 assists a game in March, which for a big guy, especially a center who doesn't have the ball like that, that's intriguing. I'm not saying he can be like Nikola Jokic, but if you can contribute like 2 or 3 assists a game and just make some solid passes within the offense, I mean, that can be a way to just contribute on that side of the floor while also doing everything he could potentially do as an athlete and all that good stuff. Finally, Emmanuel Mudiay. He's in a similar situation to Marcus Smart in that he is a point guard who struggles mightily when it comes to putting the ball in the basket. He has shot below 40% both of his seasons in the NBA, does not shoot well at the rim whatsoever, mid-range is three-pointers, while a little better than Marcus Smart's, are not that good either, although I do think I'd give him more of a chance to develop that than Marcus would, but Mudiay is a very interesting case because when you look at him as an athlete, you think to yourself, well, his calling card is going to be beating guys one-on-one, jetting up floor, being in the pick and roll, and because he can jump high, finishing at the rim. Up to this point, it just hasn't really been that. And I could say to Mudiay, well, you could learn how to post up like Marcus can. I mean, he's not as strong as Marcus. He's still 200 pounds, which is a good size for a point guard, but not really overpowering either against other opposing guards. Mudiay is just going to have to tighten up the handle, and he's just going to have to be smarter when it comes to being in the pick and roll and just having better composure when the defense is around him, and be able to anticipate where defenders are going to be, all those type of things. He is shooting around 80% from the line this season, so that's a good sign. As a guy who's athletic as he is, who can hopefully get inside and draw some contact and get to the free throw line. But that's all. I mean, Mudiay, he entered the league at 19 years old. The NBA is tough regardless of how old you are, and just because he hasn't figured it out right away, I'm not going to write him off just yet, but he is going to have to start finishing well, mainly like inside the paint, and if you can stretch it out to three-point land, that'd be good. He has had some moments of being a three-point shooter for the Nuggets, so that's a good sign, but you're going to have to be more consistent with it. I mean, when I look at Emmanuel, the guy that I picture is like a John Wall. I don't know if he has the speed and verticality that Wall does, but he's in the same ballpark. The difference is Wall is a much better playmaker and all that. You had to respect John when he's attacking the rim. You don't have to respect Mudiay when he's going inside, and as a result, it's tough for guys to get open for you to then pass them a ball. I mean, he averaged like 5 assists a game his rookie season. But we can also talk about his fit with this Nuggets team moving forward. Nikola Jokic is the dude for this team, and he's a big man who is a fantastic passer, and I think a guy like Gallinari is the ideal type of dude to play off of Jokic. If Mudiay doesn't develop that three-point shot, that can be a problem, because I don't know how he would fit in with Nikola if he doesn't get that. So there's Mudiay for you. Willie Cauley-Stein, hell of an athlete, and it seems to be just improving on both sides of the floor. And then from Marcus Smart, drop the threes. Just forget about him for a while. Do the things you do well, and hopefully you can start finishing at the basket a little bit better.